The roar of a stadium no longer defines Zinedine Zidane's life. Today, what surrounds him is silence, not emptiness, but controlled distance. Behind closed doors in Madrid, in spaces shaped by glass, symmetry, and restraint, a different chapter unfolds. A chapter built on discipline, precision, and deliberate withdrawal. What happens to a man when fame is no longer the goal? And what does silence reveal about the true cost of success? Long before wealth, control, and global recognition entered his life, Zidane was shaped by pressure. Born in 1972 in Marseille to Algerian parents, he grew up in La Castellane, a neighborhood where shortcuts did not exist. Football was never about glamour. It was an exit strategy, possibly the only one. His path did not begin with spectacle. It began quietly, in Cannes. There, Zidane learned a lesson that would follow him for life. Talent alone is insufficient. Progress came through repetition, patience, and self-control. Mistakes had consequences. Discipline was not optional. This internal structure became his signature long before the world noticed his brilliance. At Juventus, those lessons intensified. Competition was relentless. Expectations were constant. The environment rewarded composure over emotion, clarity over chaos. Zidane learned to remain still when everything around him moved fast. These years did more than shape a footballer. They shaped a mindset. When Real Madrid placed him under the brightest spotlight in global football, Zidane did not change. He remained reserved, focused, economical with words and gestures. While others fed on attention, he conserved energy. That restraint became the foundation for how he would later manage money, power, and influence. For Zidane, wealth was never a destination. It was a responsibility, a force that needed direction rather than display. Early in his career, money barely mattered. As a young professional in Cannes, his annual income hovered around $30,000. To him, it was not wealth. It was proof that the escape was working. Football meant survival, not luxury. Everything changed after the 1998 World Cup. His name gained weight overnight. At Juventus, his salary climbed into the millions. Sponsorships followed, most notably Adidas. Talent transformed into capital. The true turning point came in 2001. Real Madrid paid a then-record transfer fee of $85 million. Zidane's annual income surpassed $15 million when salary, bonuses, and image rights combined. He was no longer just a player. He was a global symbol. Yet even at the peak, he resisted excess. No obsession with more, no visible indulgence. And when his playing career ended in 2006, he did something rare. He stopped. While others rushed to monetize their legacy, Zidane waited. He observed, he learned, he remained silent. Why did patience matter more than profit? And how would that decision shape the empire he was quietly building? The strategy after fame, money, power, and timing. When Zinedine Zidane retired from professional football in 2006, the world expected him to disappear for a moment, or to cash in immediately. Most global sports icons do. They launch brands, flood commercials, accept every endorsement, and turn visibility into money as fast as possible. Zidane did the opposite. Instead of accelerating, he slowed down. Instead of multiplying appearances, he reduced them. This decision puzzled many observers at the time. From the outside, it looked like withdrawal. In reality, it was positioning. By the end of his playing career, Zidane had already earned tens of millions of dollars through salaries, bonuses, and long-term sponsorship deals, most notably with Adidas. Financially, he was secure, but more importantly, he was selective. He understood something many athletes learn too late. Relevance fades faster than discipline. For several years, Zidane remained largely silent. He stayed close to Real Madrid, not as a public figure, but as a student of structure. He observed leadership from inside the institution. He learned how power works behind the scenes. Contracts, negotiations, hierarchies, timing. This period had no headlines, but it laid the foundation for everything that followed. When he finally stepped into management, it was not as an experiment. It was a calculated move. In 2016, Zidane was appointed head coach of Real Madrid. His initial salary, estimated at around $2.5 to $3 million per year, was modest compared to elite coaches. What followed was historic. 3 consecutive UEFA Champions League titles, a level of dominance unseen in modern football. With success came leverage. A house built for control, Zidane's Madrid. Residents in Madrid, away from cameras and crowds, Zinedine Zidane lives behind walls that are designed not to impress, but to separate. From the outside, the house reveals almost nothing. A low horizontal structure, clean white geometry, no ornament, no excess. Privacy begins before the front door. This is not a mansion built to dominate a skyline. It is a residence built to disappear into its environment. Glass surfaces filter the intense Spanish light instead of reflecting it. Solid walls create distance from the street. Security is present, but invisible. The architecture communicates one message clearly: control over exposure. Inside, space opens quietly. The sense of luxury does not come from size alone, but from proportion. Warm oak floors extend seamlessly from room to room. White walls and neutral tones calm the eye. The living area is expansive, yet intentionally restrained. Low-profile sofas face each other rather than a screen. Conversation replaces distraction. A dark stone fireplace adds warmth without becoming a focal point. Floor-to-ceiling curtains soften daylight, keeping the atmosphere constant throughout the day. Furniture is minimal, chosen for function rather than display. Wood, stone, fabric. Nothing competes for attention. Transitions matter here. Corridors are wide, uncluttered, softly lit. A single chair, a mirror, enough space to breathe. Every element feels deliberate, nothing accidental. A private workspace reflects Zidane's approach to focus. A simple desk, books, a window. No screens demanding attention, no visual noise. This is a room designed for thinking, not performing. The bedroom is even quieter. Muted colors, soft textures, symmetry. Morning light reaches the bed before sound does. The walk-in closet is narrow, organized with precision. Function over abundance, control over indulgence. Outside, the property opens horizontally. A long swimming pool mirrors both the house and the sky. Lounge areas exist, but they are not positioned to be seen. They are positioned to stay. The garden does not invite spectacle. It invites stillness. This home is not a retreat from the world. It is a filter, a place where noise stops at the gate. In many ways, the house mirrors Zidane himself. Structured, disciplined, quiet. Nothing here seeks validation. Everything exists to support balance. But Madrid represents structure and routine. Distance is something else entirely. For that, Zidane turns to an island, Ibiza. Distance by design, luxury without noise. If Madrid represents structure, routine, and control, then Ibiza represents something very different for Zinedine Zidane. Not escape, not indulgence. Distance. Far from daily obligations and constant expectations, his Ibiza residence is not a traditional vacation home. It is a controlled environment built for decompression. A private world designed to slow time. The villa sits discreetly on a large plot of land, surrounded by calm rather than spectacle. Architecture remains low and horizontal, following the terrain instead of dominating it. White volumes stretch across the property, opening toward gardens, terraces, and open sky. The building does not compete with the landscape. It integrates into it. Large windows allow natural light to flow deep into the interior. Inside, there are no abrupt separations. Spaces transition smoothly from one to another. Stone floors reflect daylight softly. Neutral tones keep the atmosphere stable and quiet. The design avoids drama. Nothing shouts for attention. Living areas are oriented toward human presence, not entertainment systems. Sofas face each other. Views are directed outward, toward nature rather than screens. Evenings unfold gradually as natural light fades and soft interior lighting takes over. There is no rush here. Time slows by design. The kitchen and dining spaces follow the same logic. A simple central island, clean materials. Meals move effortlessly outdoors, onto terraces under open sky. The boundary between interior and exterior almost disappears. 5 bedrooms provide privacy without isolation. Each feels protected, minimal, and calm. The main suite is quieter still. A private dressing area. A stone bathroom filled with light rather than decoration. Comfort without excess. Movement throughout the villa is fluid. Corridors are wide. Transitions are gentle. Even functional spaces feel intentional. Nothing feels improvised. Outside, the property opens fully. A pool sits within the greenery, not as a centerpiece, but as part of the environment. Lounge areas invite presence, not display. An outdoor fitness space exists, discreet and functional, integrated into daily routine rather than performance. This is not a place designed to impress guests. It is a place designed to reset the mind. For someone who spent decades under global scrutiny, distance becomes a form of luxury more valuable than attention. Ibiza offers that distance without chaos, silence without isolation. It raises a simple question. Why does someone who has achieved everything seek places like this? Perhaps because success, once reached, demands balance more than expansion. And that philosophy extends beyond property. It appears even in the way Zidane chooses the objects that move him through the world. Quiet luxury. Cars, responsibility, and the final form of success. Zinedine Zidane's relationship with material objects follows the same logic as his home's. Nothing is accidental. Nothing is excessive. Every choice serves a purpose. His cars are not trophies. They are tools. For short, early morning drives through Madrid, Zidane favors discretion and silence. Compact, quiet vehicles that do not attract attention. Efficiency over spectacle. Control over performance. These are not cars meant to be seen. They are cars meant to disappear into routine. For family travel and longer distances, practicality becomes dominant. Stability, comfort, safety. Vehicles chosen for reliability rather than headlines. Even when power is present, it is restrained, balanced, never aggressive. Beyond possessions, another dimension defines his empire. Responsibility. Since the early 2000s, Zidane has been involved with humanitarian causes, notably as a goodwill ambassador for United Nations development programs. His focus has remained consistent: education, youth development, poverty reduction, and access to clean water. Projects in Africa, Asia, and Europe have benefited from donations, charity matches, and discreet financial support. In France and Spain, he has contributed millions toward youth football initiatives and educational programs, particularly in underprivileged communities. After retiring as a player, his charitable involvement became even quieter. Medical aid programs for seriously ill children. Support for local associations. Rarely publicized, rarely discussed. For Zidane, giving is not branding, it is obligation. At the center of his life stands his family. He met his wife as a teenager. They married in the mid-1990s. Decades later, their relationship remains private, stable, protected. Public appearances are rare. Personal moments are guarded. They have 4 children. 2 pursued professional football careers. Zidane supports them quietly. No spotlight, no pressure. He attends matches as an observer, not as a headline. On social media, the same restraint applies. Shared moments are simple. Meals, walks, travel. Nothing staged, nothing performative. His daily life follows structure, morning exercise, time at home, limited distractions, a small circle of long-standing friends, trust over expansion. Travel exists, but it is intentional. Atmosphere matters more than location. Silence more than excitement. Even moments of play, a walk with his dog, a quiet afternoon, reveal a man at ease. So what remains of a global icon when the noise fades? Zinedine Zidane achieved everything football could offer. Titles, fame, wealth, legacy. Yet his life today tells a different story. Calm over chaos. control over excess, presence over performance. Perhaps that is his greatest success. Zinedine Zidane's empire is not built on noise. It is built on restraint, timing, and control. In a world obsessed with visibility, he chose distance. In an era of excess, he chose structure. And while fame opened every door, discipline decided which ones mattered. His life shows that true luxury is not about accumulation. It is about clarity. If you enjoyed this deep look into the silent empire of a global icon, subscribe to Luxury. Level up. Here, we explore the world of extreme wealth, power, and elite lifestyles. Not through spectacle, but through understanding. And tell us in the comments, do you think silence is the highest form of success?